Domino, 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 domino. I'm en un poquito, I'm en un poquito. Or whatever the fuck Joseline is saying. I don't know what she's saying, but I like it. Welcome back to the Joseline's Cabaret after show, where we will be recapping the most recent episode of Joseline's Cabaret, airing on the Zeus Network. This is season 5, episode 5. We on episode 5, y'all? I think 4 or 5. We're somewhere right there, okay? So if you're here for the recap, you've come to the right place. Before we begin, if you've not subscribed to the channel yet, please go ahead. Make yourself at home. Click the subscribe button. You can click my face or my name down there, Damien After Dark tab. Click that and you can subscribe. Also, you'll see a thumbs up button right below this video. Like that as well if you don't mind. It helps me get into the YouTube algorithm so more beautiful people like yourself can find me here, okay? Join the conversation and let your voice be heard. Get in the comments section. Leave me your thoughts and opinions on this week's episode. I would love to hear from you and hear what you have to say, all right? Last but not least, if you want to join the Damien After Dark movement and help us grow and sustain this channel, in the description box below will be some ways that you can donate through applications like PayPal, Cash App, Venmo, and Zelle. Thank you guys so much for the support, the donations, and all the love that you give me week after week, all right? I love you so, guys, so much for that. I honestly, truly do. If you haven't already checked out my Baddies Caribbean reunion recap, we broke that episode down. It's up on the channel right now. Go check that out. Give us a view, comment, let us know what you think over there. Let's go ahead and get into this episode. Now this one might be short because this episode was kind of like a filler episode. It wasn't too crazy, it wasn't too action packed, but it wasn't boring. I enjoyed it. I like this group of girls this season compared to the group of girls last season. I feel like last season's group of girls was a complete dud. Had they not had Wet, had they not had Lucky, and had they not had Daisy, last season would have really flopped because those new girls could not carry the show. This season, these newer girls are able to carry the show without the OGs. Even though we have OGs there like Danny and Andrea and Raven and Diamond, they don't need them. Danny, Andrea, Raven, and Diamond, they can't carry a show, so they don't need them. These new girls are carrying it on their own. They've got fresh beefs, they've got storylines, they've got things going on. A lot of them are really pretty and bad-looking girls compared to last season as well. No shade. So they don't need any OGs there. When Wet left, I was worried because Wet carried the first 3 to 4 episodes. If you watch, she did. She was in a lot of the fights. Joseline knocked her upside the head. She was arguing with Andrea and Danny. You know, Wet carried. So when she was sent home, I was kind of like, oh shit, you know, I'm kind of worried. And don't get me wrong, she's only been sent home for 1 episode, so I'm still a little bit worried. But I have faith in these girls that they do have personality. They do have the look. They can keep the train going, right? So the episode begins with the elimination from last week. We had an elimination last week. Joseline is sending one of the girls home, and all the girls got to vote on who they thought should go home. It ended up being a 4-way tie between the 2 new girls, Rose and Hennessy, Kay, and I forgot who the other girl was. I think it was Andrea that might be up for elimination. I don't remember who it was. But anyway, Joseline gives the choreographer, Ricardo, the last word. Joseline asked Ricardo, who do you think was the best dancer? And he says these 3. He points out 3 of the girls, and only one he doesn't mention is Kay. So Kay was the weakest link out of the 4 dancers that were up for elimination, and Kay ultimately got sent home. But because they did say that she didn't know how to dance, really, which Kay even admitted that. She's admitted that at this season, that she doesn't really know how to dance. I think Kay was just a fan of the show. Kay was probably a stripper. And, you know, she got on the show. And that's why she's there. Now, we saw last week in the sneak peek, Kay was in the sneak peek for this week's episode. So I knew that she wasn't going home, that something was having to happen where Kay was going to come back. And we saw in this week's episode that she does come back. Joseline does bring her back, which we're going to get into that further on in the episode. Now, Joseline says that it's hurting her that no one likes Kay, and that she hates that she's having to send Kay home, that it hurts her that nobody likes her, and that Kay has potential and could be in the cabaret. And I'm like, wait a minute, Joseline has feelings? What? Joseline over here talking about I'm hurting because Kay is what? I'm like, Joseline, something's fishy about this. You don't have feelings. You're never hurt about sending anybody home. What is it about Kay? We're going to get into that too. Now, Andrea takes it upon herself to volunteer to be the new house mom since Wet Wet is now gone. And Joseline straight up tells her, you need to practice more if you want to be the house mom, because you can't even execute the Doon Cha Cha dance. Right? She pretty much told Andrea, look, your dancing sucks, and if you want to be the house mom, you need to step it up, because if the house mom is not only going to help the girls out, she's almost like a team lead, like the one that leads the girls in the dances, gets them going, gets them pumped, helps them out. And Andrea does not need to be the house mom. We can all collectively agree that Andrea is hard to get along with. She's a ticking time bomb. She's unpredictable. She switches up her personalities, and I don't even think that Andrea knows who she is. Andrea is not house mom material. Okay? Raven ends up becoming the house mom. We don't see that in this episode, but we did learn that. I saw that somewhere, which I could see more of a fit. I see that more for Raven than I would Andrea. Raven's more neutral. She gets along with everybody. We don't see her fighting all the time. Raven is actually growing on me. Now, Joseline didn't even give Andrea the house mom title. She just, said, work on your dancing and we'll think about it type thing. So she didn't even give Andrea the dance mom title, and Andrea is already trying to boss these girls around. Joseline tells them, let's go, we're going to go do X, Y, and Z, and Andrea's like, come on, let's go, y'all, let's go. Like, girl, please, who are you? You didn't get the title, mama. And this right here, Exhibit A, Your Honor, is why we can't stand this hyena. Who are you? You think because you've been on this show for 3 seasons that gives you some sort of status? You're only around, Andrea, because you're the do girl. You're the bobblehead. Your head, whatever Joseline says, your head will just bobble, and you'll say, yes, ma'am. Yes, your master. Yes, madam. Yes, madam. None. Not none. Yes, Madam Hernandez. Now, we see Chinks and Envy talking. They're having some girl talk, chit-chatting, and Chinks says that she felt like it was not necessary for Kay to go home. She says that she thinks Kay did not get a fair chance, and it felt like in that moment that they were foreshadowing. The show was kind of leading up to Kay's re-entrance. Some of the girls, I'm going to say a lot of the girls don't really like Kay, but I think she's got a friend in Chinks. Chinks, I respect Chinks because her and Kay aren't buddy-buddy like this, but she's able to call out things when they're wrong. Chinks, I feel like she's the type that would do the right thing when no one is looking. Now, she didn't speak up in the exact moment when Kay was being fucked with. I wish she would have spoken up sooner, but the fact that she did at all speaks volumes, because she didn't have to, especially in a cutthroat reality TV show competition like this, right? Now, some of the girls are gathered in the living room. They're sitting around, they're chilling, right? They're talking. And Joseline walks in with Andrea, and Joseline's got this resting bitch face. She's obviously mad. Andrea's pouting like she always does with that look on her face. And Joseline says, Andrea, why am I getting word that you and Lexi are talking to men outside of the cabaret. And I'm just like, ooh. See, Andrea, you've been doing so much meddling and bullshitting that you getting caught up in your bullshit. You and Danny both. Because, see, that's what I love about this season. Joseline has been clickety-clocketing Danny and Andrea, the hyenas, back to back to back to back, calling them out on their bullshit, and I'm fucking here for it, okay? I'm here for it. And I feel like, based off of Joseline's Instagram, based off the pictures that I've seen, Joseline's got some new girls. She's got some new, like, you know how Joseline always keeps 2 to 3 to 4 girls around her all the time, traveling with her, at her house with her and Ballistic. Like, that was once Danny and Andrea, Raven, Diamond. That was once those girls, just like it was once Lucky and Daisy and all them. Now I feel like it's Oceans. I've seen her. I've seen Oceans is still around. I've seen that Egypt is still around. I think that's her name. Is her name Egypt? The girl that I said looks like Woah Vicky a little bit. Looks like a Latina version of Woah Vicky. She's still around. Yeah, I think Joseline's got some new girls in her orbit. But anyway, Andrea's busted at this moment, and she's trying to throw Lexi under the bus. And so pretty much what happened was Andrea claims that she got a phone call from some man, who said, "Yo, Andrea, what happened to your lip? Who busted your lip?" And Andrea was like, "What are you talking about? How did you know that? Blase, blase, blah," right? So Andrea, I guess, goes back and runs that to Joseline and says, "Look, somebody is saying this, and this. Somebody's talking about what's going on the show. Somebody just called me and said my lip is busted." And Joseline was like, "Well, who do you think did it? Who do you think could have done this?" And Andrea tried to throw any of the girls that worked at that club under the bus, right? Because they're in Houston. And a lot of these girls on the show worked at this local club in Houston that the Cabaret is filming at. Area 29, right? Area 29 is this club in Houston that the Cabaret is filming at. And apparently 3 to 4 of these girls worked there. Chinks, Lexi, Andrea, Rose, and Hennessy. They all worked there. So when Andrea got this phone call from this man saying, who busted your lip, now Joseline is trying to figure out, okay, who is running their mouth to people outside of the show? Because I don't think that it's so much that they're talking to people outside of the Cabaret. It's that the potential show information is being leaked, right? When you're filming these type of shows, you're not supposed to talk about it. You're supposed to be very hush hush. You're not supposed to talk about the locations where you're filming, what you're filming, any of that stuff. So I think Joseline is not only pissed that, yes, these girls could potentially be talking to men at the club and fucking on men outside the club, but that the fact that these girls are potentially spilling information about Joseline's Cabaret Texas Season 5. Does that make sense? So Andrea ends up telling Joseline, well, I think it was Lexi because Lexi works at Area 29. It had to be either Lexi or Chinks because they both work at Area 29. And apparently the man who called Andrea was the man that Lexi and Chinks were fighting over in the first 2 episodes. Y'all remember? One of them claimed it was her boyfriend. The other one claimed it was a pimp. Well, apparently this is the man that called Andrea and asked about her lip. And his name is Chris. Now, I'm trying to figure out, why is Chris calling you, Andrea? Are you getting pimped? Are you in the prostitute triangle with Chinks and Lexi? Because why is this Chris man randomly calling you? Right? So Andrea's thrown these 2 girls under the bus. And they've got looped into the situation. The 2 girls that worked at the club. Actually, all the girls have gotten looped into the situation. All the girls that worked at Area 29, Chinks, Lexi, Rose, and Hennessy. Because Andrea has kind of implicated them all into this. That, hey, it has to be one of these girls that worked at the club that gave this man the information. But all of the girls are like, we didn't do that. A lot of the girls are like, Andrea, we didn't even know that you worked at that club. We ain't said nothing to nobody. I can show you my text messages. They're all mad and they're denying it. And some of them are thinking that Andrea is starting shit. And I mean, I could very well believe it. It kind of seemed like, it's like, Andrea, are you trying to create a storyline? Are you trying to get one of the girls kicked out of the house? What are you doing? You've been doing a lot. And unfortunately, Andrea, with your track record, it's hard to believe that you wouldn't do something like this because you're such a mess. Because you're so unlikable. She's a snake. Let's face it. Andrea is a snake. She's a liar, just like Danny. That's why I call them the hyenas. They're like a pack of hyenas that run around causing havoc and barking all the fucking time. Talking about Andrea talking about, I have no reason to lie. Bam. Telltale sign number one that you're lying. Anytime somebody's lying, they gonna tell you, I don't have a reason to lie. Yeah, you do. You got plenty of reasons to lie. And let's go down the motherfucking list while we at it, okay? Girl, you are like, and two, why would somebody call you Andrea and just say, who busted your lip, Andrea? Really? You're mad that you got your lip busted. I'm gonna tell y'all what really happened. Andrea was pissed that she got her lip busted by old girl. And she was pissed that night, so she went and called somebody, that Chris guy, the pimp. She went and called Chris, told him what happened. Chris was pissed. So Andrea's like, this Chris guy is mad that I got my lip busted. I don't know why he's mad, and I don't know who called him, but he's mad, hoping that somebody might be threatened, that the pimp is mad. Andrea, sit down. Sit down. What do y'all think? Do y'all think Andrea leaked the information, or do y'all think one of the other girls did? Now, Joseline tells Andrea, the voodoo is getting the best of you. That voodoo doll is getting the best of you. And you're losing your fucking mind. And I'm like, oh, Karma, she's so sweet. You see what happened, Andrea? When you fuck around and you do the clownery, what happens, y'all? The clown comes back to bite every motherfucking time, Andrea. I agree with Joseline. Andrea is a totally different person. And she needs to stop trying to mold herself into what she thinks that she should be. She needs to stop trying to reinvent herself into what she thinks Joseline and the Cabaret and us viewers want her to be. Just be Andrea. You came in trying to be Judy J from Bad Girls Club Season 7 with your voodoo doll. You came in trying to be her. That's not working for you. Now you're trying to be this gangsta bitch. You're trying to act like you're so hard and you can whoop anybody's fucking ass. That ain't working for you. Now you've turned into the liar victim who got her lip busted. That ain't working for you. Pack her stuff and send her out and let the mouse go. I'm tired. I'm tired. Now, Joseline tells the girls, in other news, I have a surprise for some of the girls. She says that she will be taking a few of the girls on a luxury getaway to the recording studio with her and Ballistic, where they will get a one-night stay at this recording studio and get to experience what it's like to record a song with the Ballistic Beats. Okay? To get them ready for their first performance. Now, Joseline says that she's going to end up taking Swamp. Joseline says she's going to end up taking Swamp and Ice Water. One of y'all called Oceans Swamp, and I was so weak, bitch. I was so weak. I think it was Recessionista. Shout out to you, Recessionista. Called Oceans Swamp, and I said, bitch. So we're going to call Ocean Swamp, and we're going to call Rose Ice Water, okay? Now we're going to call Rose, what are we going to call her? She ain't a Rose. She's more of a... She's not a Rose. She's more of a what? A Coors Light? A Budweiser? I don't know. What would we give Rose? Anyway, she takes those two girls. She says, I'm going to take you two girls with me to the club. And she says, Ocean, You've really been trying since you've been here. I've really been watching you. I love that you have the strength and you have the body and the innocence and the beauty to be standing next to me in the cabaret. And I'm like, damn, toot toot, beep beep, hold up, beep beep, back it up a little bit, Joseline. She pretty and all, but goddamn, you pumped her head up. I mean, the beauty, the body, the innocence, the strength, which as she should. Cause listen, let me say something. I get up here and talk about how these shows be degrading and shit. It's not positive. It's not uplifting for women. And for once, Joseline is uplifting somebody, so I'm gonna give Joseline her props. You go ahead and you uplift Miss Swamp, but I can't with Miss Swamp, Miss Oceans, because she just be licking ass. I'm like, girl, you are such an ass kisser. All that ass and pussy licking you did paid off, though. Right? It paid off. Now, Joseline says she wants to bring one more person with her. And can we guess who that one more person is? Drum roll, please. Kay. She says she doesn't want Kay to leave. And that Kay says she actually has a crush on Joseline. In her confessional, she's like, I'm glad I didn't leave. I actually have a little crush on Joseline. And I'm like, it's all starting to make sense why Joseline didn't want Kay to leave. Because Joseline likes to have pretty women surrounding her in Ballistic. Joseline allegedly likes to bring women in the bedroom with her in Ballistic. And I could see her trying to lure Kay in there with her. Because she loves her a stripper. She loves her a girl that will easily lay down and spread her legs for $1.50 and a cameo on the Zeus Network reality television show. And it's no shade. No tea, no shade, baby. Do what you got to do. Make your money. It's times are hard out here. Inflation is high. And I've even said it before, baby. If the price was right, I would spread these legs for a good chunk of change too. So I'm not hating on Kay, but let's call it what it is. That's why you wanted Kay back, Joseline. You wanted to get knee deep in that coochie cat. And that's okay. Now she tells Kay, Joseline says, I think it would be a good idea if when you return, since they love to call you Jigsaw, you should come in on a little tricycle. Because if you didn't know, if you've never seen the movie Saw is a horror film. There's like 5 or 6 of them. And the main character is a guy named Jigsaw. And he's got these really high cheekbones. And that's why they call Kay Jigsaw. And he rides around on a little scooter that squeaks. So Joseline goes and buys this little tricycle. And they're going to have Kay come in on the tricycle like Jigsaw from the Saw movies. I'm weak as fuck, okay? I think it was a brilliant idea. And Kay literally does favor Jigsaw. That's the bad part, y'all. And I love Kay. I'm not trying to be mean, Now, some of these girls, when they saw Kay come in, they were like, I wouldn't give anybody the satisfaction of seeing me come in on that tricycle. And even Joseline said, I can't believe Kay actually did it. I would have told myself, fuck you, I'm not doing that. But I didn't get what the big deal was. I thought it was cute. I thought it was funny. I thought it was a great TV moment. And you've got to make fun of yourself sometimes, right? You've got to make light of yourself. If you can't make fun of yourself, you give people the power to make fun of you, and they take the power from you, right? They can't laugh at you if you're already laughing at yourself, if you're already joking on yourself. And to be honest, I just think that they don't like Kay. They don't like her. They've been picking on her since day one. Has she done some things that I didn't like? Have I thought she'd been a little messy? Yeah, but they all have. And I really feel like they just don't like this girl. For whatever reason. Maybe they think she's pretty. Maybe they think she's a bimbo or just a dumb stripper or whatever the case may be. But it's like, y'all have no reason to be picking on her. And she needs to be left alone. I'm glad Joseline brought her back, actually. I'm glad. And I think they brought her back, too. Aside from my first reasoning I gave you guys. Kay stirred the shit the first few episodes. She didn't really start the shit, but she stayed in drama. She didn't fade into the background like Moni. Like that girl with the blue hair that we don't even remember her name. She wasn't even that memorable. You see what I'm saying? Kay is one of the memorable ones. Now, Kay, Oceans, and who was the other one? Rose. Excuse me. Kay, Oceans, and Rose, they get to the studio. Or they're on the way to the studio. They're in the Sprinter van. They're on the way to the studio. And they're talking about who they think shouldn't be there. What girls they feel like should not be there. Ocean says that she thinks Chinks should not be there. in which Kay takes up for Chinks in a way. So it's good to see that Kay has Chinks' back as well, because Kay tells her, I like Chinks. Why do you not want her here? I like her. Um, and Ocean says, I think she just needs to go home. I think she needs to go home. It's like she doesn't take this serious. And it's like, Ocean Boo, you just got here. Don't let Joseline bigging you up get to your head. Like, I feel like she is really feeling herself right now. She feel like she is the top bitch. She Big Mama done. And it's like, baby girl, you could be pimped so easy. Like, God, you could be pimped so easy. Now they get to the studio. Chinks, Oceans, and Rose. They get to the studio. They're talking to Joseline. They're shooting the shit with her and Ballistic, doing a little small talk. Joseline's getting their insight on the girls, how they feel, what y'all think about this girl. And she asked the girls, who do y'all think should go home? Kay mentions that she thinks that Erica should go home because of the shit Erica pulled last week. We know that Erica fought Kay because Kay said, why are all y'all coming at me? Is it because I'm pretty? And Erica took that as, do you think you're prettier than us? And she started fighting her. Erica, you are almost 40 years old, if not 40. Why are you jumping on somebody for some dumb shit? So Kay brings this up to Joseline and tells her she thinks Erica should go home for that reason. And I'm not going to lie to you guys, I think Erica should go home too. She doesn't really bring anything. She doesn't really have a standout personality. All she's bringing is a pretty face, blonde hair, and big titties. And she really went low with this one when she fought Kay for nothing. You really went thirsty and desperate. That's when, like I've always told y'all, you want a thirsty reality star. You don't want a dehydrated reality star. And Erica seems dehydrated at this point, like more dehydrated than those bleached ends on her head. Okay, so I would like to see Erica go home. She doesn't bring much. She's not a good dancer. She's stiff. She's lazy. Like blah. She can go. I agree with Kay on that one. Now, Rose says that she thinks Envy should go home because Envy jumped on her last week's episode, right? Envy's the BBW. She jumped on Rose, so Rose wants her to go home, and I understand. Somebody jumped on you. You want them to go home. I don't know if I'm ready for Envy to go home yet. I kind of like her, even though she did jump on Rose for a stupid reason. I think that she is entertaining for the show. Now, Miss Swamps, Miss Ocean, she's feeling herself. She just had this little one-on-one private meeting at the studio with her and Joseline and Ballistic. So in the confessional, she says, did y'all peep this? Ocean says, I'm ready to show Joseline Hernandez that I'm here for her and only her, and I'm ready to execute whatever it is she needs me to execute. Like, girl, if you could not part those cheeks any wider and lick that ass anymore, I don't know what you could do. And be careful what you say. Be careful what you wish for, mama, while you sit in that confessional talking about I'm willing to execute anything she needs me to execute. Because when she needs you to execute that head on a dick for $1.50, you better buy, bitch. You you better bob, because that's what you asked for. You hoes see this glitz and this glamour on this TV show, and you think it's all sweet. Y'all think shit's sweet, and you got it fucked up, because y'all don't know what happens behind the scenes on these shows, allegedly. Okay? Because when the lights go down, and the cameras go down, heads go down too. So keep executing if you want to, Miss Thing. Miss Swamp Water. Now, Ricardo comes over to do a training session with the girls so they can learn Doon Cha Cha in this bitch. Doon Cha Cha in this bitch. Get jiggy with it. Hey, hey, get jiggy with it. Hey, hey. And Ricardo's kind of cute to me. I think he's sassy at times. He can be a little bit of a queen, which we all can. I can be sassy. I can be a queen, but he's cute to me. He got a belly too. I like a man with a little dad bod, a little belly, a little 4-month pregnant belly. You know what I'm saying? A little Thanksgiving feast. Yeah, Ricardo, and he got that beard. I bet he could really. thump. You know what I'm saying? Ricardo, if you're watching this, call me. Um, so the girls are doing a training session with Ricardo, and then they're going to go from the training session to an obstacle course where Joseline is pretty much trying to get the girls fit because everybody's drinking sodas and eating processed foods and laying around. So she's trying to get everybody up, active, get their body moving, get the BLOOD flowing. Now on the Sprinter van to the obstacle course, Hennessy decides to be messy and tell the girls on the Sprinter that Kay said that she came back to whoop everybody's ass. And it's like, girl, Kay did not say that. Did somebody put a battery in your back? Are you just being messy for camera time? Or like, why are you starting shit for nothing? Kay keeps y'all hoes pressed. This is exactly what I'm talking about. The girl didn't do nothing but come back like Joseline asked her to, and they already creating dramas, creating bullshit lies and rumors to get the shit stirred up. And some of these girls are buying into the bait. It's like, come on, y'all. Let's not be that dense. Let's not be that slow. And I don't like Hennessy after watching her. She seemed like a problem. Like, unlike Rose, like we've got to see Rose's personality a little bit. We've got to see more of her. In Hennessy, she feels like she's just manufactured and starting shit just to start shit. She lies. She claims that, she beat certain people's ass like Envy. Oh, I beat your ass, Envy. You did not beat Envy's ass, sis. I don't think so. Did she? I don't think so. Now that I think back to it, I don't. Now, one of the girls, or actually some of the girls, start pressing Hennessy on her loyalty to Rose. Because we know that Hennessy and Rose came into this show together because they both worked at Area 29. And Joseline found them working together at Area 29 and said, hey, do y'all want to be on the Cabaret? So they came on to the show, which I kind of don't believe. I kind of think they were already casted and they just brought them in like that. I do think they worked at Area 29, but I think they spun the story like we brought them in last minute when they actually didn't. That's just my opinion. But, they're like, oh, would you fight your friend to win the competition, or would you sell your friend out to win? Like, what you gonna do? Are you gonna fight your friend for your spot? That's what they asked her. Would you fight your friend for your spot? And she was like, yeah, I would at the end of the day. And some of them act shocked, and I don't understand why that's a shock. It's almost like they were trying to start shit with her and Rose, because as soon as she said that, one of the girls was like, "Ooh, I'm gonna go back and tell her friend that she said that she would fight her for her spot." But it's like, what do y'all expect? Is she there for her friend? Is she there to win 50K for her friend, or is she there to win the 50K for herself? Because there's 50K on the line, and there's also a spot to be on this tour. And that's another thing I don't think people are realizing. This tour is going to bring them even more money. And if you look at the tour dates that they're going on, they're going to like 20, 30 cities. That's a good little bag each night, at least $2,000 each night, something, 500. I don't know what they make, $500 a night, something each night, income that you can make that you wouldn't make out here in the real world. So why would she not fight for her spot just because she came on a show with a stripper that she worked with that was her coworker? No, baby. And that's what Hennessy said, and I respect her for that. Now they get to the ninja gym, and when they get there, Danny says three different times now. Danny says, "Oh my God, I used to do Ninja Warrior type stuff all the time. Why did I stop doing this and start selling pussy? I should have never stopped doing this and started selling pussy. Oh my God, why did I stop doing ninja work and start selling pussy?" It's like, girl, order in the motherfucking court. First of all, it's not cute to be sitting up here bragging about being a former hooker, okay? Especially when there are young girls, late teens, even younger, watching these fucking shows. Let's sit up here and brag about being a hooker, okay? Number two, last time I checked, dirty hyena pussy was not in demand, okay? Last time I checked, there was not hyena pussy on the menu. Men don't fuck anything, but I'm just like, Danny, girl, bye. Bye. And did y'all notice? I didn't notice Rose when she came in. One of the girls even said she came in with them set it off braids. Rose did to the gym. I guess we were so used to seeing her with a wig on. When she came in with the set it off braids, I did not recognize her at all. I was like, who is that girl? I had to squint a little bit and then I had to pause it. I'm like, oh shit, that's Rose. And then one of the other girls said it and I'm like, okay. Anyway, so they get to this obstacle course. Y'all know, y'all probably watch shows like Wipeout, American Ninja Warrior, shows like that where these people go compete on these obstacle courses. Well, this was pretty much a mini version of that in some warehouse that the girls were going to pair up and kind of do. Well, I thought they were going to pair up. Joseline said she was pairing them up, but they were pretty much on two separate teams from what it looked like. And they're doing this obstacle course. You know, they're running on stuff, walking across stuff, trying to balance, jumping on shit and swinging, that kind of thing. And we see Erica, the ditzy blonde bimbo, fall on her face. Boom. Flat on her motherfucking face, bitch. Her and Envy and Raven, none of them could really, all three of them, best they hearts, they could not balance, stand up straight, do nothing. They couldn't do the obstacle course to save their life, okay? And then Andrea has the nerve to say, these girls can't keep their balance to save their life. I can't believe I'm gonna have to dance next to them on tour. Now, that's rich. Coming from the hyena who can't do a simple 8 count. That's rich coming from the broad who can't do a simple everybody 1-2 step. Baby, you've been trying to learn the Doon Cha Cha for years now, and you got room to talk about somebody else's balances? It's not adding up. Okay. Okay, Andrea. Anyway, so that episode ends. We didn't have any explosive ending. There was no fight. But next week, there are quite a few fights. It looks like next week things are really starting to shake up in the cabaret. Amongst these girls, there are some cracks in the foundation. Some of the girls are getting at it and going at it with one another. The girls are fighting. And it looks like one girl even gets sent to the hospital next week, to the point to where Joseline was even shocked. Did y'all see that sneak peek for next week where Joseline was like, oh my God, oh my God. Somebody call 911, call the hospital. You know, she was shocked. So I'm very interested to see what happens and what goes down next week, baby. And you don't want to miss it. You don't want to miss any of the action. It's going down right here on the Damien After Dark channel. Make sure you're subscribed if you have not subscribed yet. And also click that thumbs up button and like this video. Join the conversation by getting in the comment section below and leave me your thoughts and opinions on this week's episode. What did you guys think about everything that went down? I'd love to hear from you. Now, if you want to join the Damien After Dark movement and help us grow and sustain this channel, in the description box below will be some ways that you can donate using PayPal, Cash App, Venmo, and Zelle. Thank you guys so much from the bottom of my heart for watching my videos, supporting me, liking these videos, commenting, donating, sharing, watching from the watchtower. All y'all, I see ya, I hear ya, and I appreciate you, okay? Don't forget how special you are. Don't forget how amazing you are. And always put yourselves first, okay? Don't forget that. Make it a good day. I love you. We'll see you next time on Damien After Dark. Bye.